a setback is not the end of one's life. This is often easy to repeat, but experiencing a loss is no easy feat. Very often, some are tempted to give up totally on a venture when met with difficulty. So how does one recover from suffering a heavy defeat and turning it around for your benefit? Today on News Desk, we speak to a journalist turned politician who knows about handling setbacks. She's a speaker at the ongoing International Youth Empowerment Summit here in Accra, where she shared on bouncing back to gain. Her name is Obobia Dakopoku, former parliamentary candidate for the Wejagbawe constituency, and she's joined me on the studio. Welcome to News Desk.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. You're looking lovely as always.
Thank you.
So tell us, first of all, how's the Obobia Foundation doing?
Very well. What we're doing is that we're moving offices, so that's what is happening now. But for the meantime, I'm doing a lot of work with the youth and I'm enjoying it. It's good to know exactly what's going on in the minds of the Ghanaian youth. So I've been on quite some platforms so far as youth events are concerned, and the most recent one was yesterday.
Right, that's the International Youth Empowerment Summit. So how was that experience for you, sharing?
I think that is a beautiful experience, especially if you meet the prophet who brought up this whole idea, Prophet Brian Amartin from the Amartin Ministries. I think that his perception about the youth is a beautiful one. He simply thinks that we need to impact what we have for the next generation. So he's put together this almost about 2 years ago, and I think this is the third one, and it's been fantastic. I think that if you also are around that place and you speak to the youth one-on-one as they come to you and ask you questions and as they try to get some answers, I think that they are really interested in getting to know exactly how some of us made it, how we've been able to overcome failure, how we decided to get into politics, how others became preachers. And I think that I'm loving it. Immediately after the morning session, they are all over you, getting phone numbers, bringing their questions, doing one-on-one interactions with you. So it looks like they're really interested in what is going on. And everybody who has been there for the past 2 days has seen how the place has been full up. Yeah. And I think that sometimes people simply do not have even chairs to sit on. So I had somebody yesterday who told me that she's been standing for almost about an hour. So I'm really impressed. I think that it's something that we should all support, encourage. At least if we can do it more often than once a year, it will go a long way to help the youth.
Great thoughts there. Now, we understand you spoke about bouncing back to gain after defeat. Tell us about that.
I think that very often people get into one thing or the other and they feel and they think that's the end of the world. But I believe that sometimes, just sometimes, maybe it's just for your success instead. Because when you do not win here and you decide to take a detour, you could be successful there and you could even make a bigger impact than what you seek to do previously. And people most of the time think that, okay, because I want to be a politician, I want to be a member of parliament, and I failed, I did not win my elections once, twice, like Obobia, that's it. I should sit in some small corner and cry and be all morose and let it look like it's the end of the world. No. I believe that so far as I go on my knees and pray to God every single day, the Lord has a different plan for me. Maybe the Lord thinks that if I become a member of parliament for a constituency, I would be just interested in that small group of people as a constituency. Maybe I needed to get out there so that I can reach out to more people than a constituency would have allowed me to. So sometimes we should look beyond the failures and always keep confessing to ourselves as human beings success. People simply lose focus because somebody thinks that she's too fat. And that's all that that person thinks about. I'm too fat, I'm not wearing this dress, I'm not doing that. No, take what you have. Make it yours. Right. Make a difference so far as society is concerned. I have said that, listen, politics, 2 terms, I've tried, it didn't work. I'm not sitting down. I'm going to work with the youth. I'm going to be a motivational speaker for the youth, trying to tell them, use me as an example, and then you will not regret it. So that at the end of the day, somebody tells you his or her story, and you know that what you have gone through is nothing compared to what that person has gone through and risen to that level. So it's important that we come out there and really tell the next generation, let them understand that if God says it's not over, no other human being can say it is over.
But is it a difficult topic to talk about?
I don't think so. Experience is the best teacher. So far as you've gone through it, you've experienced it, it's very easy to talk about it. When I got there yesterday, a lot of people were thinking about where was my notes, where was my sermon, where was my iPad and everything. As I took the microphone, everybody was wondering what she was going to talk about. But I told them that it's an experience that I have had. So it's easier to talk about it. I didn't have to put my points down to come and talk about it. I flow with it. Because at the end of the day, you go through politics, you encounter human beings, you know how treacherous, evil, people who are very close to you behave. You have gone through politics, you understand how you can take one situation or the other and turn it around for your good. You've gone through politics, you know how you can even buy spies in your opponent's campaign team. So at the end of the day, I didn't need to write it down to go and impact on another person. It has to flow, it has to be natural, so that they know what you've been through and they can also use it as stumbling blocks. And as you fail, you make it look like it's a speed run you're going over. So as soon as you go over the speed run, the road becomes clear again. And that's how they should take life. I think that most of the youth struggle for nothing. Some of them are on the fast lanes, as I say. My friend uses a Range Rover, I want to buy one. My friend has an iPhone 7. And they do all sort of things to get some of these things, which is really not necessary. It's one step at a time. You can simply not have a baby and think that tomorrow that baby should start walking. A baby has to go through the process. There's a teething process, there's a crawling process before that baby starts walking. You can simply not jump 10 steps and decide that this is where you want to be by force.
So tell us about some of your difficult moments. I
have had very difficult moments, and everybody who knows me knows that I have tried to contest for the Wager-Barre constituency 2012, 2016. Everybody who knows that I have had issues even with the people I worked with, who were supposed to be people who support me directly. But these are some of the people who come to you when they need something and you could kill yourself just to get it for them. And they're the ones that take those things from you and go out there to tell people not to vote for you. So I'm just saying that if you buy a meal today and you have a friend in the Joy newsroom, if that person is not that close to you, can the person just walk to you and take the meat on your food? No. So the people who are closer to you are the ones who hurt you. The ones who are not close to you cannot hurt you. So every single time that you go through these issues, you need to be careful about the people around you. People come with all sort of goodies, with all sort of beautiful faces, handsome faces and all, just to come and tell you that they want to help you. But what they actually want to do is to come close to you so that they can hurt you. So we should be careful about the people we call friends, the people we call colleagues. There are some people who simply get good news and they can't wait to tell their best friend. They can't wait to tell the next person just for the person to share in their joy. But that person simply cannot celebrate your success. So the moment he or she gets that information, moves it on, turns it around, by the time you realize everything has crashed. So
in your experience, do you sometimes question if it's part of God's plan for your life for you to be in politics?
Of course. It's not about politics. It's about the experience so that you can use it to impact on others. So if you ask me, I'll tell you that I believe that I went into it to see exactly what happens there, so that at the end of the day, people can use me as an example, so that at the end of the day, I'll have a story to tell that will change somebody's perception, mindset about politics. So I'm saying that politics and failing to win an elections does not change me. It makes me stronger. Everybody who has also known me from 2012 till now knows that I've become a better person So at the end of the day, it actually did not do any damage to me for one side. The only thing that I didn't get is to walk into Parliament as a parliamentarian. But I think that what I'm doing now and how my life is shaping up now is much, much better, because what it does is that it's going to impact on a lot more people.
So, so will you run again?
Oh, I'm sure that that one is for later. For now, we want to talk about the next generation.
But you're considering it?
No, I'm not sure. Not now, but I'm sure that later on, when those issues start rearing its head, we will know exactly what direction the Lord wants me to go. But for now, I'll be on each and every platform so far as the youth of this country are concerned.
Right. So you'll be at the National Theatre today for the final leg of the summit.
And I'm sure that nobody wants to miss this evening. This evening is going to be fantastic, because that's the last bit. We're going to pray for Ghana. We are praying for the youth of this country. We are praying for the next generation who are going to take over so far as governance, so far as ordinary lives are concerned. And we are also going to commit all of us into the hands of the Lord and ask the Lord for a better program for next year. I cannot end this without once again giving credit to the organizers of the Youth Empowerment Summit. I think that is a great idea. I think that they have done something that has really blown a lot of minds, because it's not easy to put it together when you look at the monetary issues and stuff that they had to bring together. And thank you also to Joy News and all your affiliates. I think that you've been there for us. We cannot talk without saying thank you to you guys.
So what's the next step for the Obobia Foundation?
Youth empowerment, and we're doing more of single mothers, because we think that most of the single mothers, even though they have the power to look after their children, run their homes, just because they simply have the thought in their minds that there's no father at home, there's no daddy at home, they think that that's the end of the world. No, some of us have been able to do it, and we've done it so well. My first son is 18 years old. I've done it single-handedly by the grace of God. Why don't you think that the next person should be able to do it? So we want to concentrate on that area for now as we continue to empower the youth, impact on them positively.
Now, our latest hotline documentary here on Joy News was titled Survivors, where we told the story of people who have been sexually defiled, particularly when they were younger, women that is. What do you say about this issue? I think
that's a very unfortunate issue, and it's a very delicate subject to talk about. I think that is an area that sober minds have to discuss. Some people, because they have gone through it or their relatives have gone through it, will have a very harsh opinion about it. Those of us on the other side will think that we should tread cautiously so that we can make a decision on it or find solutions to it gradually, so that it doesn't become as if that because so far as it's supposed to be about women, so it becomes like all we want to do is to deal with the situation once and for all. I think that we will take our time to deal with such delicate issues when it comes to rape, sexual harassment, and stuff like that.
Right. So what will be your final words?
My final words is to the Ghanaian youth. I think that we should just take our time, one step at a time. We are not rushing. All of us have come from somewhere. I started as a receptionist at Radio Gold. I went through to become the morning show host. It didn't take a day. It took 14 years. So you cannot wake up one day and think that automatically you should be a morning show host. No. I went through the mill. You have to go through the mill one step at a time.
Thank you very much, Obobia Dako Poku, for that, where she's the former parliamentary candidate for Wejagbawe constituency there, still considering a comeback, as she's telling us. Thanks for your time.